Coming at you correct and direct from Oakland, California. It is High School 510.
You got Take It to the Ground Hard by Ben Jarvis Mingo.
Ben Jarvis?
Whatever the hell his name is. No. That you can't do a magic. No, you can't do a magic moment when when somebody ignorant parents gonna name him Ben Jarvis or Ben Carvius or whatever the hell his name is.
Man,
What's his real name?
What's his real name? You said so many bad, wrong variations of the nigga's name.
What's his real name?
I'll tell you what his name is. I remember what his name is. It is Barkevius.
Then you can't magic moment off of a name that just that's stupid. No, that doesn't sound.
It's a good thing I got the speaker, right? You know what I'm saying? Hold on, Aaron, you get this.
You can't even do that, man. Not when the first name is Ben Carvis Barcavius.
It's a magic moment because you love magic, you love the Lakers, so you get a magic moment because you know how you know this.
Sometimes when Magic's talk ignorance because his AIDS is fucking with him. It was closed. It wasn't latched.
Is that window open? No, it's cracked.
No, it wasn't cracked. It just wasn't closed all the way.
There's no varying degrees of close. Like closed is also kind of an ultimate thing. Like, is it closed? Well, it's partially closed. No. Is it? I didn't ask if it's partially. Is it closed? Yes or no?
That's what you're saying. Like this is a Chantix commercial.
Is it ready?
You know, you start to get old when you start looking at those commercials and starting all the old actors.
And you be like, man, I remember.
You're like, shit. What they talking about now? Let me check this out. Like, fuck, am I that age? Like, you start noticing, like, okay, is that hurt like just a soft hurt, or is that gonna last a long time? Is this reoccurring? That's the problem. You get over 40, someone needs to write a book called "Once You Turn 40, Life Just Fucks with You."
Yeah.
But hey, I got my swagger back. Got it back.
I'm not hooked up right now.
No, you ain't got it back. I got it. Oh.
Man, just think though, if this was fucking medieval times, you'd be dead 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if you would have stayed, or if you would have stayed in Alabama.
That's right. Can I eat this on the show, Jared? It's soft. Since I'm not allowed to eat, just to let everybody know, all this brew that they keep pouring me is getting me a little drunk because Jared won't allow. Excuse me, I'm not getting drunk on the show. All this brew's affected me because Jared won't allow me to eat on the show no more.
Aaron's the king of double talk. He's like, no, I'm not supposed to eat on the show, but can I eat this?
I don't know when we made this rule. Who made the rule? We ain't never sat down and said, hey, what's the rules to the show? What's the rules? Can I eat? Can I not eat? Can I burp? Do I come in my mouth? Do I leave?
When we used to do it at my place.
You was eating Jack in the Box all the time.
No, I wouldn't eat on film. I had coffee. I would sip, but I wouldn't be eating
on film.
I mean, on record.
No, you used to create stupid ass boxes and shit.
Yeah, but you know what? It's for the betterment of the show.
Not the betterment of the show.
Me eating loudly on the damn mics when it comes through just as hot as you saying anything relevant or cogent is not a good mix of sound. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, let's have you saying good things without having food in your mouth. That sounds better. Or let's not have somebody eating in the background while somebody else is trying to say something. You tell me. When you listen to somebody in your headphones, do you want to listen to them eating food?
I listen to Guy Fiere on headphones and it'd be fine to me.
He's not eating food all the time.
You wouldn't have known to go to half the restaurants you like.
But you listen to Guy Fiere.
Mm-hmm. How you think I found out about Lucas?
Aaron, it sounds like you're talking cotton balls in your mouth right now. That's the thing.
I think I found out about Lucas. I think I found out about Lucas being good and the Halal Brothers.
It wasn't Halal Brothers.
The Hella Brothers.
No, hey, so we have this new thing. So I have a couple. We're trying to hone the show. To all our avid listeners, you guys know, been with us since day one. Shout out, sponsorship.
Again, they should know that I eat on the show with their avid listeners.
No. But they also know.
I should be used to it. Like, hey, man, that's everything. He eat on the show.
He just eat on the show.
It's like I turn to say, man, yeah. I just hit bitches. You should know.
Man, I turn the guy railroad, but keep going.
We can't gain any more popularity if people typically don't like listening to people chewing on food while they're trying to talk to us in our ears, especially when it's in your earbuds.
Put a poll out there. Put a poll out. I want to hear something.
You put a poll out. Nigga, I'm doing everything. This is why we're not eating.
Put a poll out.
No, crack me a brew. Put a poll out. You tell me why we shouldn't do this, Negro. I'm just telling you. You don't. I asked you and you didn't answer. Do you want to listen to somebody talking with food in your mouth, with the food in their mouth?
Look. I ain't got no problem with it. Like I said, I watch Food Network now and then.
The Food Network is different because you also have the visual stimulus.
See,
so you
I don't think he minds because his favorite basketball player is Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
So he's used to being able to convert whatever people are saying into coherent conversation.
I love Magic Johnson talk.
Create your own subtitles in your head.
Nah. So we're doing a couple things. One rule is that we're putting down is to not talk about what we see on the TV. We've been getting better at that. The other rule is to not eat
mostly because the Cowboys game was earlier.
It's to not eat on while we're recording. Drinking is acceptable as long as we're not slurping. But just make it seem like we actually like having a conversation where it's not us eating in your ear or drinking in your ear.
I like eating at cafes, restaurants. I mean, I like having
Aaron, you sound like you got something in your mouth right now.
I got something in my fucking mouth.
I think it sounds like you like eating during the podcast.
It's like,
when do we show up?
I was like, is this stressful to you, Aaron? It's like, are you comfort eating right now?
No,
like,
man,
Aaron's like, yeah, I just need to give me some of this
I
bread.
need my energy because when I come to this podcast, I give 110 fucking percent.
Your screen give 110% too.
That's because I'm looking at podcasts.
It's my inspiration. Some people look at quotes from Steve Jobs. I look at Instagram.
The other thing I think
I'm on different things. See, that's the thing. I'm getting blamed. I'm on different things. Right now, I'm on fantasy trying to get this Trey Rayon.
You give it 110% to this podcast. Let's get back on course. So we're doing try not to eat. Try not to look and talk about what happened.
I like hearing try not to eat because I will try not to eat.
You've done a better job at it.
Thank you. You can't somehow put me a rule on and just go straight from.
Well, then you got
you got to work it. You know, like look with heroin addicts on heroin, they go on methadone to try to ease them off the shit. You can't just go from Aaron, you can eat on a podcast to now Aaron, throw your fucking salad upside down like the dog eat it because you ain't gonna eat on this monkey.
We want you to eat.
We want you to eat, Aaron, just not during this window of time. Aaron had the nerve earlier to pull out the whole salad and start mixing it right when we were about to record at the beginning.
Hey,
of the
we
show.
ready to record?
He's like, yeah. He's sitting there with a big smile and like, this and that. I was like, this nigga.
Salad though, wasn't it?
It looked good, but it looked terrible at the time.
It was huge though. I had
the other issue is it's a big ass. It's not a normal bowl.
For all you people in West Oakland, I had heirloom tomatoes.
Heirloom tomatoes. Anyways, Aaron had a big ass bowl. One of them bowls that Ice Cube filled up with cereal when he didn't have no more milk. Yeah, I don't know how that motherfucker didn't realize there was no milk in that carton.
He wasn't gonna have enough milk in the carton to fill that bowl of cereal up.
He looked like, that's not enough milk, bro. Anyway,
Aaron had a whole half gallon. He wasn't gonna have enough.
Aaron had that cereal bowl out with a full salad in it, and he had the nerve to be like, I got croutons in here. Let me let them get a little bit moist and soak up some of this salad dressing before I start eating. I said, nigga, we not waiting 2 more minutes for your croutons to get soggy. I was like, right.
That way they wouldn't be loud.
That's hilarious.
I don't mind soggy croutons, Jerry.
All right, we need to get back on. Let's get back on task. We just wasted time.
When is the NFL gonna go back to throwing in they penalty for celebration? Because today I saw the defense get an interception. Got on defense for Houston, ran it back 102 yards, got a touchdown, and stopped the pose for a picture. All the defense stopped with them. And I look up. Next thing I know, there's Deshaun Watson in the middle of the picture with his helmet off. And I'm like, what are you even doing on the field? It was the defense that got the touch. Look at this. It's just celebration after celebration. You know, what I always say. You give a black dude a rope.
He gonna lynch himself.
Come on, man. I don't say that. Move on, Brandon. Let's move on.
What? That's the way you told me that one. I swear.
Nah. See, I didn't want to say the N-word.
That's the way I heard it.
You give a black dude a rope, nigga want to be a cowboy.
Okay, well, let me just say this. Can I say one thing? I want to do a new challenge. Okay, we're going to do the N-word challenge, okay? Mm-hmm. And so the N-word challenge is every time you say the N-word, you have to, we can either do...
push-ups?
We could do a fining system, we could do push-up, we could do, you got to, drink something, whatever. But that way, we'll keep ourselves accountable for every time we say the N-word. Sans retelling a story and doing quotes, and sans any of my sound bites because they're going to include that. So,
N-word laden.
Yeah, but any words of us saying the N-word, anytime we say it ourselves.
You can't say the N-word, though, itself.
So I can't say, like, shut up, N-word.
Yeah.
I can't say that either.
It's cheating, man.
That's not cheating?
Man, what if the clerk at CVS said that shit to you? Like, hey, N-word, how you doing?
I think we should do that. I think that'd be fun. We don't have to put the stipulation on it today, but from maybe next episode on, we'll come up with the stipulations of what's gonna be, and we'll go from there.
Do you just have a nigga fire sale? Like, get your niggas now. Next week is gone.
Yeah, niggas is not about to be around. You ain't gonna hear niggas much around this show anymore. I realized last week I said the N-word a lot. So the last episode. So
I didn't.
You didn't. No, you said a little bit, not much. Brandon said it a couple times.
Yeah, I reserve the N-word for Call of Duty, but usually.
Call of Duty. All right, let's get to the NFL news. And what's up with this NFL?
Oh man, Jerry Rice come out and said this week that Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. He's really good though.
He's right.
I tend to believe him, mostly because Eli Manning is not very good.
Eli Manning. I think Jerry Rice. Of all the things Jerry Rice has said that have been stupid and asinine, this might be one of the most intelligent things I've heard him say. Recently, whether it was him doing the Popeyes commercial or him doing his drop the mic thing a few months ago, like he's shown that he's a little bit coontastic. So, but he is right. Eli Manning not a Hall of Fame quarterback in my eyes. I think he doesn't get enough blame just because he won those 2 Super Bowls. He didn't win because those teams won those 2 Super Bowls. He gets a lot more credit.
Shout out to Plaxico Burress.
Shout out to Plaxico Burress. Shout out to one of the greatest defensive front four we've seen in a long time.
Come on, man. How you give a shout out to?
Hey, that 2011.
You might as well give a shout out to the whole team because David Tyree made the catch. Everybody did their part, including
David
shitty ass Eli Manning.
Tyree's helmet made a catch.
Yeah, it was 2007.
No, Rodney Harrelson and David Tyree helped make that catch. Everybody played their part though. Eli's not a franchise quarterback. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. But everybody played their part.
That's why I said they won that. That's why I say, but they give the credit to him. It's like he's a 2-time winner.
Every quarterback is too much credit.
I know, but that's why he's not a Hall of Famer. So we all agree he's not a Hall of Famer,
No,
right?
he's not a Hall of Famer.
I personally told y'all he needs to take more responsibility and needs more blame. I don't know why they keep trotting him out there. He's done. Move on from him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if he's done.
He's done. He could be a backup somewhere and just be like the dude who come in and hopefully win a game if our starting quarterback gets hurt.
He could start for Buffalo. He could start for Jacksonville.
I don't know if he could start for Buffalo. Because Buffalo would probably have him do the same thing Nathan Peterman was doing.
He could start for about a good 16.
He can't start for any teams where he has to hold the ball in the pocket.
He's still better than Joe Flacco. He's better than Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well, here's the deal. Here's that thing I was telling you about, and I understand Jameis Winston did it to himself with his immaturity, but if the talent's there, then you still ride it out and you hopefully teach him. But every time you bench him and you give the job to somewhere else, or every time you do that thing where you don't, they've been doing that. Obviously, he's had his issues with suspensions, but they keep doing that. They're like, hey, man, are you going to roll with him or not? Just roll with him, and hopefully he grows into something. Stop bringing in this journeyman quarterback who only plays well and there's no pressure on him. And then once people are like, man, Ryan Fitzpatrick's kind of good, we should start, having expectations of him. He's like, wait, expectations? Oh, no. He like a baby daddy that just oh, what, you pregnant? I'm out. It's like, what? Ryan Fitzpatrick, I bet you Ryan Fitzpatrick probably got about 13 illegitimate children all around Harvard.
Come on, he ain't got that.
He probably, I bet you Jamaica Plains is riddled with
Antonio
illegitimate Fitzpatrick seasons. Hey, we got to do a quick shout out. Stan Lee passed away, guys. Stan Lee, you lived to the ripe old age of 90
something.
Yeah, you was 90 something, man. You was groping women in your final days. That was a little inappropriate. That was inappropriate, but I was thinking about that. I was like, I didn't know how to feel when Stan Lee passed away because the last news I heard about Stan Lee, other than seeing him in the movies doing his little cameos, was him groping women, and I was like, yeah. Now I was like, do I feel sad that Stan Lee's gone now, or should I be like, he got what that motherfucker deserved? You dirty. Dirty chauvinist man.
At an old age, so not really got what he deserved. But
should I be that upset anymore?
He's from a different time.
No, my grandfather was a little bit the same. He was the same thing. He said whatever. Once he got to 90s, once you get past 90, he said it was on his mind. Still sharp, but Say what's
So
on
sharp,
mind.
but you lose the inhibition to hold it in.
Yeah, to hold it in. So he say things sometimes that were inappropriate or just like kind of rude, but it was just him being just kind of brutally honest.
According to this article, it says it's almost like Dallas was trying to lose this game.
Yeah, they should have closed it out. Anyways,
Shout out to Jason Garrett. I think they should fire Jason Garrett and hire Mike McCarthy next year.
no.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy doesn't run the ball.
No, he can't.
Well,
Mike McCarthy's not a good head coach.
Well, they're not going to get Josh McDaniels.
I don't want Josh McDaniels. You saw what happened with him. He had a head coach's job and it fell apart real quick. He was like, I want Tim Tebow. Okay, good job. You really thought you was going to turn Tim Tebow into something, bro?
Man, he was doing it, man. They didn't give him a chance.
No. He didn't know how to be a head coach. He's not a leader of men. Head coaches need to be good leaders or extremely good at delegating and keeping accountable X and O's.
And that's why he went back to the Patriots to learn those skills from Bill Belichick.
Some more?
Learn how to sign a waiver form.
Oh, he also learned how to sign with the team and then 3 hours later say, never mind, I don't want to do it, and then leave the team high and dry?
Yeah.
Even though he got commitments from an entire coaching staff
he's-
to go to that team,
right there.
and then they were then without jobs, had to go back to their teams that they were with to be like, hey, that fell through. Can I get my job back? That's what Josh McDaniel did. I don't want to hear nothing about that man. That man is not a man. That's a poo butt ass, bitch ass Urban Meyer.
Bill Parcells' game plan, okay?
No, that's a cutthroat motherfucker who don't need to be coaching.
No, man. Bill Parcells got hired. Belichick got hired by the Jets and then rescinded the job and then went to the Patriots. Like, that happens sometimes. Fucking Ken Norton Jr.
Didn't he also coach the Browns right before that too? And it was terrible?
No, it was a few years before that. No, same thing happened with Ken Norton. Ken Norton got a job with the 49ers. He's like, actually, Pete Carroll needs me up in Seattle. I'm going to Seattle.
But he's not a head coach. He doesn't have it.
It happens a lot.
No. Josh McDaniel had an entire staff that he had leaving their jobs to go.
It made no sense for him. But it made no sense for him to stay there if he was going to be like, hey man.
If his decision making is that selfish, you cannot inspire players to not be selfish on that field. You cannot have a coach who has set that precedent of being a selfish person who's let people down with their decision after not taking full responsibility. You want me to be responsible and run my assignment 100%? Go. You want me to be selfish and me running my assignment right now when you wasn't? No, coach, I don't believe in you, man. You can be a coordinator and I'll listen to what you got to say. But don't try and tell me you will not have overseeing power over me. Nah, man. Damn it, I would have owed something right there.
It's funny. Whenever you make rules, you break it more than anybody.
You know what? I'm working on that. That's
why I want these rules written down like the Ten Commandments.
Excuse me, we talking about the Cowboys? Hey,
Cowboys are nowhere on this list.
Quick shout out.
Shout out.
You said Jason Garrett. They should fire Jason Garrett and bring in Josh McDaniels. So I'm going back to that. You gave me a crack of that door. Hey, the Cowboys are back. Yeah, the Cowboys might be back. They might be back. The Cowboys won today. I don't know how, but they won in Atlanta. On the road.
I tell you, they won. Their defense played well.
Their defense played really well. The Cowboys won today. They're now 5-5. They're 1 game back of the Redskins.
That's a hammer.
How much are they
That's
hammering?
downstairs. I don't think that's next door. I think it's downstairs, and that's a whole nother story.
Man, Trump's building the wall down.
Should we just go knock on the door and say, "Hey, we record a podcast here"? Shut the fuck up.
No, because they'll shut over here and try to steal the shit that's in here.
Can we do Jamie DeWolf challenge?
Come on.
Hey, we already got your money. We're glad you're here. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, he threw 3 picks and they still won.
Ben Roethlisberger, I want you.
Blake Bortles.
You want to talk about someone that shouldn't be that's going. He's going to the Hall of Fame too, and he's another to me that's very questionable. Because while he does have a lot of stats, because he's a high volume passer, he's like the opposite of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a high completion passer. He's a high volume passer. His completions aren't great, but he's going to get the yards and TDs because he throws so fucking much. Like he threw 40, almost 50 times this game. Even though he played like shit, he has the green light to throw 50 times.
We're talking about Ben
Roethlisberger. But he also...
And so he's one of those... Ben Roethlisberger is one of those guys that if you look at his stats on the road and look at his stats even in the playoffs, they are shitty. They are shitty. You want to complain about Eli Manning, he is in that same category. Just a little bit better, right? He's in the same category. Shitty most of the time. But he throws 1 touchdown because a player fucking trips over another player. And then we're like, oh, Ben Roethlisberger's great. He also played in a Super Bowl that he didn't do shit in.
That's one of your triggers. You always hate on Ben Roethlisberger.
Because he is overly shitty.
You talking about me hating on Alex Smith. I have a reason to hate on Alex Smith.
But at least they're good guys, too.
Now we doing the good guys.
What's your judgment on why he makes the Hall of Fame?
Ben Roethlisberger is
Plays for the Steelers.
I think he plays for the Steelers. He's got them to the playoffs. They've been a consistently good team, and he's been at the helm for
He's
them.
been consistently losing the teams he should beat, even when they have better records.
You gotta let me finish. You can't keep interrupting.
So you always take a long time.
No, I'm explaining.
Man, he really has turned into Jared.
Yeah, Aaron over here just like, man, hit some of that CBD jetty extract. Calm your ass down. No, Aaron, he's had a team he's been on the same team, which is one thing that adds to like the mystique and the lore. And you can't tell the story of that team, and you can't tell the story of the NFL without that team. And he represents an era of that team. Whether or not statistically he is that good a quarterback, or you think he's at the tier where he needs to be considered one of those quarterbacks, there's reason to debate. And I don't disagree with all your arguments, but I also see like he's done these things. He's always been a productive quarterback. I don't think he benefited from being able to like be on a really good team when he was young and not have to throw that much, but he's become a quarterback that throws the ball around now. And the reason why he has lower completion percentages and throws the ball around because he's throwing a vertical game, whereas now you see a lot of these quarterbacks who have these great completion percentages who are throwing all checkdowns. So they're going to throw almost 70% completion percentage because they're throwing the ball.
How do you explain interceptions?
The interceptions because he takes chances. He puts the ball down the field. That's why he has more completions, but that's also why he has more big plays. This bitch is hammering it up like a motherfucker. He's an aggressive quarterback. He does throw a lot of short, quick passes, but he also throws the ball down the field. But
there would be bad passes too, Jerry. Don't just.
I'm not saying.
You're giving justification for his interception, saying he takes chances, he does this. You're putting positive spins on it.
No, he
but
takes
quarterbacks
chances.
you hate, you put no positive spins on anything they do. He's thrown a lot of shitty balls. That's his fault throwing shitty balls.
That's his what?
His fault throwing shitty balls.
Okay.
We gotta keep it.
All right. Anyways,
and he's benefited.
Let's get
Ben Roethlisberger is officially a trigger of Aaron.
No, he's just not that great, man.
Every time you get like this, though, you start talking all mad, like he's shitty and Farfagnugan.
He's just not great. Man. Just over here, he's going to come.
I don't job right that dude.
It's
I think
fine.
He's
going to the Hall of Fame. But how many games do I got to see? He's going to go in with look. There's one Hall of Famer that has more touchdowns, interceptions, and touchdowns.
How about you put
Joe Namath? I don't think he deserves to be there, right? If you look at Joe Namath's stats, he doesn't deserve to be there. Roethlisberger's going to have like the all-time passing yards. He's going to be up there. He's going to be at like over 50,000. He's going to be in the top 5 in all those things. Touchdowns. But one of the reasons because he's a high-volume passer, and he's also been surrounded by great talent. I'm just saying.
So is Matthew Stafford.
Like Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, dude. Matthew Stafford is going to be fucking.
Matthew Stafford was around great talent for 8 years.
He's around great talent. He never won anything, but he never got his team. See, the thing about this,
he's also in a shittier franchise. The Lions have never been a great franchise.
I'm not saying
he
that.
went to Pittsburgh, one of the greatest franchises who know how to consistently stay good.
And he was able to handle that and not crumble under the pressure.
Since our fathers were young, Pittsburgh
they had quarterbacks before him that couldn't stick. They had several quarterbacks that couldn't stick. He stuck.
And guess
Give him credit for that.
And guess what happened when they couldn't stick? They still won, didn't they? Yes, they did. They went to the playoffs during my young time without a good quarterback. They kept going to playoffs. Why? Great fucking franchise. They know when to cut people, when to keep people. Even though they kept failing on the draft and the quarterbacks, guess what?
We're
going to even go to Super Bowls because we know how to run a franchise. Unlike Cleveland, who's sitting around saying, "Let's interview Condoleezza Rice," right? Condoleezza Rice. Let's interview Condoleezza Rice and get her in here to be head coach. Why the hell would you interview Condoleezza Rice to be a goddamn head coach? I ain't seen her even play fantasy football. I don't know if she played fantasy football.
She's on the college football playoff board.
That don't mean she knows shit about football.
She
knows how to be on board. She also was on the board at Enron. And what happened at Enron?
She can inspire people. That's Jared's quota. She can inspire people. She can lead people. They gonna believe what she says.
Well, I'll put her in there, man. Let me see what she inspired. She ain't inspired me to do shit when she was working on the bush. She ain't inspired nobody to do shit.
Jared's looking for a sound right now.
Fuck Rodney King. It's too late.
You're going to have to tell me that all the time because I like potato chips.
They basically won Super Bowls. The Pittsburgh Steelers won Super Bowls in 3 separate periods, right? Ben Roethlisberger has 2 of them, right? So he's the guy with 2 of them.
And then they had one since the 70s, early 80s.
In the 70s.
It's 20-some years,
the whole
Aaron.
70s. This is football.
They were in the Super
Football's
Bowl.
a hard
They were in the Super Bowl, and that quarterback didn't stick
because he sucked.
Because he kept throwing to the other team. But
this is what I'm
Aaron,
saying.
you're arguing
I'ma
the whole
give him
point
credit.
that I already.
He's good. He's good.
I already argued this for you.
No,
You're saying you're basically adding credit to what I already said by saying he's been in a great situation. Hey man, I win. All I'm gonna say is that
go again. Hey, take the bait off topic. I ain't gonna talk with him. If he keeps coming with this, I'll win stuff. I debate.
that's how every day is going.
That's my trigger. I don't debate for winners and losers. I debate so we can hear.
You never did debate club? There were winners and losers in that.
No, I didn't. You asked me a question. No, I didn't do debate club. I was out there.
I didn't either, but I knew we had a good debate team because they kept winning.
Because basically,
Chips.
The debate club back in the day was Fortnite and now.
No, it's
So when you was doing debate club,
that's an oversimplification.
I was out there doing other things.
Yeah, well, debate club was
You
not
probably
Fortnite.
was reading Lord of the Rings while I was out there doing other things, like Joey Tribbiani said.
All right, you know what?
When they
I was
asked
trying to
George-
hold off, Aaron, but you get personal. So now
They say
Aaron,
Joey Tribbiani. Did you ever? You don't know who Gandalf is?
Aaron, you get
You
this.
didn't read Lord of the Rings? Jared Tolkien. He's like,
This magic moment.
All I'm saying is that he's stuck. They had quarterbacks that they were good. They had Cordell Stewart, my boy, Slash, whatever his name was. Didn't stick. Charlie Batch, Tommy Maddox. Oh, Neil O'Donnell before that. Like, there was a lot of quarterbacks that didn't stick.
and that's a lot of teams go through that. Your
I
own
know.
team, the
So then
Cowboys
it's
go
a
through-
quarterback-
It happens.
They're still going through that.
It happens.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
But
I'm
what
saying
are you
is
saying
that's
by
part
that?
of the
You have a
game.
quarterback that's been able to helm a
Just
playoff
because you've been able to helm a
playoff
team,
team. They missed playoffs like 2 times
I'm
in his
saying
career.
he's not as great. He's going to make the Hall of Fame.
But you have to give him credit for that. You can't keep saying how bad
Let me
he is
give you
without
credit
really being
for
like
being
being able to say this
a
is why
good
I can see
quarterback.
why he's a
I'm gonna give
quarterback.
him credit because he's a good quarterback.
Because it sounds like you being a hater. It sounds like
I don't think he's elite.
the way I hate on Alex Smith is righteous because Alex Smith has never made the playoffs like where he wasn't on a legitimately dope ass team.
He was about to make it this year until he broke his leg on a shitty team. Now shittier than your team.
No.
That had a better record than your team before he went down.
Nope. Alex Smith
Am I right,
has been
Brandon?
garbage.
Alex Smith's still.
He keeps going. He keeps winning. He does something that your team can't do. It's called winning.
No, he goes to advantageous situations.
Dude, Washington is not an advantageous. That is a very advantageous situation. That's the problem, but it ain't good.
Because the offense has always been check down Sally. That's all it is.
Check down winning.
And he's like, I get to go check now. Well, they
Check down winning.
They were getting some lucky wins this season. They've gotten some lucky wins.
Wait, hold on.
They've also invested on their D-line. They've invested in their defense. So they have a good defense. So he's like, let me go to a team that has a good, solid defense, a young defense they're building around, and an offense that is mildly pedestrian, kind of like my game. And I'll fit in just perfectly. I won't lose the game. And hopefully we'll be able to manufacture some wins. That's what he does. And you guys continue to jock ride that fool. Yeah, you're going to hate on Ben Roethlisberger for taking chances. And being able to do with those interceptions because he takes chances.
I don't know why you jock riding. You like rapists.
There's-
That's what it
no,
is.
no.
Jared likes rapists. In the Me Too moment, Jared likes rapists. I'm putting that out there.
I don't like Ben Roethlisberger like that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You probably. You know what? I bet you if I go in your bedroom, you got a picture of Ben Roethlisberger, Darren Sharper, and Bill Cosby on the wall, and probably right above it, the quote by Bill Cosby: "She sleeps. She sleeps. Oh, she sleeps.
I would like you to know that the opinions of Aaron represent Aaron.
Yeah,
and nobody else on the show.
these are Aaron's thoughts and like Aaron's the one who made all these connections. None of us were going there with it until Aaron took it there. Can we get back on task instead of
What's the
Aaron
next thing,
ranting?
Brandon? Let's just move on.
This
I don't
is
know.
Aaron.
Let's
Hold
move
on,
on.
Real
hour
fast,
two.
it's Sunday.
Hour
This is
two
what
has
happened
become
when you don't let a
Aaron's ranting.
motherfucker eat a salad on the
No,
show.
these were
If
finally
I would
more
have ate a
Aaron's
salad, I would
triggers.
have been fine. Next time you should say, Aaron, eat your salad at this time. Then I know.
Wait a minute, nigga, you knew we was I was like, I'm coming through several hours before it got to this time. He's like, nigga, I just shaved my head. I gotta take a shower for 30 minutes. Nigga, come on, bruh. Eat your goddamn salad in the shower if you got to.
Jared actually came at the exact time he said he was going to come, and I wasn't prepped for that. I was not prepped for that, to be honest.
None of us were.
None of see,
The nigga was in the shower for 20 minutes after cutting his hair. Nigga ain't got no hair.
Carmelo is apparently going to get released by the Rockets. Obviously, look for a trade. He only played 10 games. It sounds like they asked him to start.
He missed a lot of shots in those.
To start coming off the bench.
And he missed a lot of shots.
And apparently he's been sick ever since.
Talking about Melo right now?
Yeah, talking about Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony is pretty terrible. But he's been a great player for a while. But
No, he ain't been a great player in the last 3 years.
I'm saying for a while he's been a great player.
Yeah, he was a great player for a
He's
while.
one of the generational talents of this era of NBA.
I agree with you.
It's kind of sad to see, but at the same time, like I don't feel sorry for him because he doesn't seem to be able to understand like that the game is kind of passing by. He's not in his prime anymore. Like I think he sees LeBron and is like, if LeBron's still balling like this, why can't I? Because LeBron is different from me.
And their games are different too. You got to understand. See, Carmelo game doesn't age, right? It doesn't age well. All you can do is score, rely on scoring, and then as you get older, that's always going to dwindle, right? So either you got two ways to handle it. You can handle like Ray Allen, who said, you know what, I'm just going to become just a spot-up shooter and just work on that and be well. But for some reason, Carmelo still wants to be the man that can score 20 a game. You're not good enough to score 20 a game, right?
No, he can do it, just not efficiently.
No, he can't do it efficiently, and that's the problem. Like, teams don't need you to be inefficient and win. You want to go play and still be the man? Go to Atlanta. Go to one of these shitty-ass teams that ain't going nowhere that's going to allow you to be inefficient and get you an inefficient 20 points. You know, and that's the problem. But then he got two ways of handling it. He can either handle it gracefully like Vince Carter has, right? It's like, okay, look, for me to get 20, I got to be inefficient. How about I be efficient and get 7? And just be a leader, do this. And then guess what? Every now and then you see Vince Carter be like, wow, Vince Carter scored 25 points. And it'd be like 11 for 15 shooting. You're like, wow, 10 for 11. He got 20 points. Wow, that's what you need, Vince Carter. Or every now and then, but he's being a leader. Or you can handle it like Carmelo's handling, which is the Allen Iverson way. No, I'm still this dude.
I'm a starter.
I'm a scorer. It's just ignorance, right? And the league is better off without them.
Well, there are rumors that he might
The
go.
league is.
There's rumors that he might go to China and get a big payday out there. But
You can send a motherfucker to Bucharest. Send him everywhere.
do you think he would like? Do you think
Bucharest.
if he thinks he's still a starter in the NBA, do you think he would then be like, well, then fine, I'll go play in China? I don't think his ego will let him do it, or his pride. But
No, I think he finishes. I think he finishes out the year somewhere. I think it's.
I think he should go to San.
I think he sits around for a while, see who's going to be like the 4th or 5th seed, and then tries to bump somebody off a roster.
I think where he should go. I got two spots where I think
Because he gets paid for the whole year, no matter where if he gets cut or not.
I think two places I think he could go that would be good is if he went to San Antonio, but I don't know if I feel like there's a reason behind that. San Antonio is one. The other one would be Boston, just because Boston is depth. And
But his
it'd be
thing, when would he play them?
but he'd have a chance to. Well, it's like when that second unit kind of comes in, and he'd be there to help, give a little bit of offensive push potentially, but his defense isn't good enough. So I don't know if he fit there. But
Just wait till Kyrie Irving gets hurt again.
yeah, but the other thing is, I think really ideally he goes to a team that's a playoff contention that can use a guy who can score in spurts. They can run the offense through in spurts during the playoffs. That's what his end game goal is, to be that player that, hey, we can run an offense through you for 2-3 minutes at a time, a few different times throughout a game, while our other starters or best players are resting. He has to go somewhere where there's a wealth of talent, so he understands, hey man, you're not the best dude here anymore. You're not the future of this franchise.
Well, that's what it was in Houston, though.
Or he has, or he has to go. Well, he wasn't really butting heads there. He already had. The crazy thing is that he went with Mike D'Antoni, who Mike D'Antoni quit coaching in New York. Part of the reason is probably because of Carmelo Anthony, and that was a terrible team. And Mike D'Antoni said, "I quit. I'm leaving. You don't have to pay me anymore." Basically, and left that job. So the fact that they signed him was interesting, and kind of writing. I think it was this is probably not going to work out, which we all thought it didn't work out. Or he goes to San Antonio, where he has a strong coach that has coached him internationally, that he has respect for, and that knows how to maximize his game to a degree in an offensive set that could use him in a high post. Because really, his game is still. He's not a spot-up three-point shooter. He's not this dude who's going to take off the dribble.
I don't know if they have.
He's a mid-range.
I don't know if they have room for him and Rudy Gay to play the same.
He's a No, Rudy Gay is more of a stretch, but he's more athletic.
But they play on the same spot of the floor offensively.
Yeah. No, I think if Melo could ever learn how to become a more efficient passer, not saying Utah, I said San Antonio.
He could be tight in Utah.
Like,
Ricky Rubio getting them dimes is woo.
No, because he's gonna. They already have one dude who hogs the ball too much, and that's Donovan Mitchell. But Donovan Mitchell is the one dude who's sitting there hogging the ball, taking all the shots.
But Ricky Rubio, he's a real point guard, so he know how to get other people their shots.
Oh, maybe.
Because he's a real floor general.
Yeah, don't get me started on Ricky Rubio. You trying to hit my trigger?
He's a floor general.
Yeah, you trying to get on my trigger?
All right,
Right,
let's go.
You're trying to trigger me.
What's next?
Let's talk about Jimmy Butler for a minute.
Oh, Jimmy, my boy Jimmy.
Jimmy Butler finally got traded. The Wolves haven't lost since he left. Yeah, man. But now you got Embiid, you got Simmons, and you got Jimmy Butler on the team. And they're still the third best team.
Well, let's talk about the trade.
In the East.
The trade they got. Everyone's giving them a hard time about the trade. They got Dario Saric, Robert Covington, and then a second-round pick.
Second-round pick. Well, this.
Ain't a second-round pick.
Well, people are giving them a hard time because it's way different than 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, and you're gonna get 4 late first-round picks, or you can get 2 guys who are NBA proven to being productive players, and I think that's what they got. They got Covington, who's a good defender. He's like been one of the top dudes in steals in the league. Can kind of play big and perimeter a little bit. Can shoot the 3 spot up decently. Not lead at it, but he does it adequately enough.
Yeah,
he's above average. And then you got Dario Saric, who honestly could be like a Nikola Mirotic to the Anthony Davis combination, where you got a stretch 4/5 that's also big but can play the perimeter and drain the 3, while you have Cat who can really work the other side of it and post up and then dime him up. So I think it'll be interesting. I think that's not a bad deal. I think the Sixers might have gotten a little weaker in the long run, obviously, but they got weaker.
Long run, like this year, or I'm
just,
long like this year.
Just in the long game of what they're gonna need to do to win the playoffs. Yeah, I don't mean like long run, like as in like years down the road, but just like the ultimate game is like how's your team gonna look in the playoffs?
Match up. I think they got stronger. I think they can match up with Boston now and Toronto with better perimeter defense now. And I think by bringing Jimmy Butler, you basically signal that Markelle Fultz has to either go to the bench or be cut, which is either one. If Philadelphia 76ers ran like the NFL team, Markelle Fultz would get cut. NFL would have cut him. After 1 year, they would have said, we learned from our mistakes. You go ahead and hit whatever button you want here. I mean, like I told you, if the name, you can't get hit this magic moment by names, man. Because names are fucked up.
This magic moment.
Tell me why. You say his name and tell me why. Say his name.
Markelle Fultz.
What's the fuck's his name?
Markelle Fultz.
Why the fuck I gotta know how to pronounce Fultz? I don't care about the nigga. The nigga was right here. I'll call him nigga to his face.
That's two.
I don't care. I'm telling you, I would call him that to his face, and I'll pronounce it wrong on purpose. And you know I would.
It's the last nigga show.
This is my thing. I don't care if I pronounce the name wrong. He ain't good, so why should I pronounce it right? If he was LeBron, if he was Kobe, if he was even Reggie Wayne, I might pronounce his name right. But no, he is a weak fool that can't shoot. They brought in a guy to score points and they can't shoot. Did you see his pump fake, his hitch? And he shot a free throw like Charles Barkley played golf. He had a hitch in his free throw because he has no confidence. And they were starting him for some stupid ass reason. By bringing in Jimmy Butler, they knew, now we got to bring your favorite, the white boy, that's your favorite guy.
JJ Redick.
But if you watch Markelle Fultz in college, like he looks completely different than he does in the NBA. It's like,
you know what he looked like?
He's playing a bunch of
high
school.
Yeah, I look like that. If I had his height, his talent, and his height, I'll be looking like that playing Utah State too.
No, but he looked like he played for some community college team right now. But you look at his highlights in college, like he didn't shoot the same way. Like he doesn't even dribble the ball the same way. Anyway.
Dude, I think he had some poly juice, or he had one of them. Felix Felicius from Harry Potter had good luck on his side, because that was I don't know what they were thinking. You don't draft
I think they're a better team now.
You don't draft an undersized 2 guard to try and play point guard, and that's what he was. And undersized 2 guards are not the business in the NBA.
To let you know, Minnesota lost today to Memphis. Just another prove your point that Jimmy Butler was right.
What's the score?
Man, let's talk about
they lost 100-87.
Let's talk about these Warriors.
All right. Anyways,
I would just like to say shout out to Jared's favorite Warrior, Draymond Green.
Oh boy, Draymond Green. Yeah.
Like a shout out to Aaron's favorite Warrior, Kevin Durant.
Hey, favorite Warrior, Kevin Durant.
Hey, but last thing on Jimmy Butler.
Now that JaVale McGee's gone.
I like Ben Roethlisberger. He don't rape no women in bathrooms.
Last thing about Jimmy Butler is I agree, Aaron. They do get better defensively, but they lose. They lost shooting.
I think they lost. Saric hurt him with the perimeter shooting and Covington. Yes, they did.
They lost perimeter shooting.
They lost it big time.
And with Ben Simmons, that's like his game, is getting those perimeter shooters.
But that's why I say you got to have JJ Redick play more minutes now. You got to give up on the Markelle, whatever his name is, experiment.
Yeah, Markelle Fultz got to go.
You got to get rid of that experiment. It's over.
You gotta trust the process. That's what you gotta do.